Hey guys, and welcome back. Today gonna work on a G.I. Joe helicopter from the adventure team. So little story time. I My brother has one of these helicopters, and it broke, and I fixed it. And in the process, I got interested again in the helicopter. Looked on eBay and found a new listing that was really inexpensive and gave me another project idea, so kind of just went with it. Uh, this is the helicopter I received. As you can see, it's pretty nasty. I think it came from an estate sale, the seller said, and he hadn't cleaned it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean it up. Uh, Even though it is filthy and gross, did notice that the rotors still work, and there's really nothing broken on the helicopter. It's not complete. It's missing some stuff. It's missing the rotor blades. It was missing the tail boom and the other couple of tail pieces. But aside from that, everything else seems to be there. So I'm gonna clean it up and see how it turns out. And I kind of had an idea for a project for it. Um, Being that I've gotten a little bit into Super Joe a bit, and Super Joe got a lot of vehicles, I was thinking maybe I could do a Super Joe helicopter. So I ordered some parts for this. I'm still waiting on them at this point in time in the video. Um, but this was the helicopter skids, unbroken, which is really rare. Got the seat. This was an extra part from my brother's helicopter. He had a full working one. This one was in pieces, but I did cobble those pieces back together, and I'm gonna remake the hoop, I think, out of styrene. This is one of the parts I did order, which is the tail boom. So this will attach to that. And the other parts that I ordered were from Etsy, from 3D printer, and it's going to be some pretty interesting pontoon setup, because I noticed the Avenger Super Joe plane had the pontoons, I believe, and I thought it would kind of go with the adventure theme. So thinking maybe of going that route with this. But in the meantime, I'm going to disassemble this and clean it up. Alright, and we're back, and I've gone ahead and just did a cleaning on it, and it really did clean up beautifully. I mean, this looks as if it's almost brand new, and it was just put away in a loft, and I don't know where it was put, and I didn't mention it before, but this thing stunk. It smelled like a fart. I mean, it's just be what it is. It was really, really very smelly. But anyway, I washed it all, cleaned it down with soap and water. Still a little wet, but really turned out really nice. Chair, the window is not perfectly clear, but it's in pretty good shape. It's got a couple of little scuffs, slightly smoky, but pretty nice shape overall. So that's definitely a nice thing. This is one of the things I was a little confused with, and that's the control panel. So I've done sticker replacement on a couple of these, and the sticker replacements always look blue like this. So it's got me second guessing if this has been given a sticker kit or not, because I do have one with a vintage sticker still, and it's pretty white. You know what? Let me pause it and get it and let you see. Okay, so I went and I grabbed my original helicopter. This is the one I restored on my channel a couple of years back, actually. And let's take a look. And funny enough, I never did change the sticker, so I have the replacement sticker from my original, because it was in still good shape. I never replaced it. You can see that's definitely an original, and this is the reproduction. And then this is the one I got today, and all three are different. Looking at that, you can see that. So you can see like the green on there is got different, more details in that area. If you hold it upside down, you see it in the light a little better. So that's a replacement sticker. So maybe this is a vintage sticker, but it's different than that vintage sticker. So pretty interesting. Alright, anyway, getting back to things, go ahead and start putting this together. Took my time with that, man. That thing is tight for some reason. Anyway. I think these choppers, these helicopters from the Adventure Team are like really super iconic. I think they really symbolize the Adventure Team. I don't know what you think, but for me, when you think Adventure Team and a vehicle, the yellow helicopter really comes to mind for me. So, this I still gotta rebuild, so I'm not gonna bother locking that in place. But there it is as it stands so far. And then I use G.I. Joe rubber O-rings to hold these in place. These rotor blades, the G.I. Joe 3 3/4 O-rings are perfect fit for these. So I'm going to grab some of those. So these are the O-rings for the 3 3/4. I bought this bag, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. And definitely used them quite a bit. Still got a lot left. Just keep it sealed and they stay fresh. But getting back to this. Rubber O-rings, perfect fit for that. I'm not lock this down yet either. But once I get the propellers in there, that should work a lot better. I'm also going to WD-40 that to loosen it up a bit. Definitely don't need much of that. Just work it in. Alright, so that's where I'm at this point. Next cut of the video will probably be when those pontoons show up. So I could get that together and show you what that's all about. But just thought it'd be neat to kind of take a look at the original one that I did a while back versus the this new one. Really beautiful shape. So really happy to have that. It's even got the original string. You see, I had replaced the string on my original one. But yeah, it's really nice to have a another helicopter in the collection. Really love the look of these. I think they're super cool. But alright, we'll continue on. Hey guys, and welcome back for a new little review of some 3D printed parts for G.I. Joe Adventure Team helicopters. So what I picked up is a 3D printed set of parts for some helicopters that I'm working on. So we got the rear wing, and I got this pretty cool little pontoon set here. They got the 4 pieces for the pontoon and this setup to attach it to the helicopter. You got these parts. That will connect to the helicopter itself, and it has an instruction sheet on how it works. Pretty cool. So that's the skid mount, and then all of the mounting pins to mount it to the bring the pontoons together, and then mount them to the helicopter itself. So it'll end up looking something like that. So I have a few helicopters here that I'm in the process of working on. I got the capture copter. I got another helicopter here that I've gotten a lot for really inexpensive, and it's in really great shape. It was really filthy, but the skids are unbroken. I got the tailpiece. I do actually have a 3D printed boom piece right here. That's still coming in the mail. And of course I got the rear wing as well. But I think I'm going to use this pontoon set for the capture copter, just because the one that it has on its original is broken. As you can see right here, this is busted and it sags quite a bit. And I think the pontoon set will work really well with this, obviously, because it's got pontoons. So let's go ahead and get it put together and put it on the capture copter. Okay, so let's get started. So here's the parts list. We got the 8 pieces here that will connect the pontoons together. So we'll put that in place. Just doing a little bit of trimming, as the instructions say. It is a tight fit, so a little trimming may be necessary on both the hole and on the plug itself, just to give it a little bit of give on some of the flashing so that it all fits together. Okay, so I got the first one together, so that's all nice and sealed up. So I'm going to work on the second one. It's a little fiddly, you got to do a little trimming, but it will eventually fit together if you just take your time trim out the pieces that are a little too thick, and definitely works. Nice weight to it as well. Okay, so I got the first one and now the second one together. Got a little bit of a gap here, and you see when I squeeze it, the other end opens up. Bring this back a little bit. So, and it just won't seem to close up, so possibly glue that, but it's kind of clear that this is slightly warped, so it won't quite close here without opening on this end. So for now I'll leave it, contact the maker and see what he says, but I think glue and a clamp would probably solve that. But for now, I'm just gonna head and continue the build. So with the pontoons built, the next step is going to be the plugs that go into the pontoons. So do that. That's these 4 pieces here. Let me make sure it goes in the right way. Okay, so the short end goes into the pontoon. Okay, so I've got the buttons into the pontoons as far as I could. I can't just quite get them all the way down. Maybe I got to do a little more trimming, but I'm just going to continue on from here. So the next step is the pins into the skid. So these seem to go in pretty reasonably. That one's in, that one's in. Oh, looks like they do go a certain way, short and long. So we'll keep those all on the same side. So you notice you got the long pins on one side and then the shorter pins on the other. Hope that's showing up. So next we'll be attaching this to the pontoons. Just got to make sure if the long or the short go forward or back. Okay, so the skids are fully assembled and attached to the helicopter. It's all a very, very tight fit. So you got to take your time. You got to be very careful not to stress anything to crack it. I had some difficulty with setting the pins all the way in. I still got to work on that. I just didn't want to force anything too much, but it is holding together. It's not going anywhere. So that'll work for me for now. So taking a closer look at the design here, it's really neat. You got a step included in the design, so you step on here and then step up and into the helicopter. I think that looks really cool. The orange color works great for the capture copter. It matches the sticker color very well. I think that looks fantastic. So I'll go ahead and finish putting that together and we'll take a look at the finished product. Okay, so there it is, all put together. I think it looks fantastic with the orange skids. It actually gives it a nice color pop that the capture copter kind of was lacking with its all black plastic. It's also very stable. My capture copter pontoon set, again with that broken piece, was very wobbly. This is very secure. It's not wobbling or sagging. It's holding upright. Really nice. Very sturdy. Holds up a lot nicer than the original pontoon set. Of course, mine was broken, but I think even still very sturdy. It's a very tight fit. Everything on this kit is tight. So getting the pegs, everything coming together, you got to take your time, you got to trim the pieces, and you got to be careful. So the final assembly, attaching the unit together, is very specific instructions with the pegs, the shorter ones to the front, the longer ones to the back. There's also an arrow, at least on the inside part, showing you which side is the front. So pay attention to that. The only nitpick I really have is on that other pontoon set. I think it's slightly warped or something, because it does open up on the back, and I showed you as I was putting it together. If you close that, the front opens up. But pretty minor issue. These are custom parts, and a lot of work and design goes into these, and they are really, really awesome to have stuff like this available to the adventure team. If you have broken skids or you just want to make a custom, this is a really nice option. They're available on Etsy. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check out these pontoons. They're made in yellow as well. So if you want to just put it on the yellow chopper, you can do that. And again, he has a whole host of parts, not only for the helicopters, but for various vintage G.I. Joe items. Would highly recommend checking them out for that. But that's a look at the pontoon set, custom made by Egner. This one was made in 2019. You see his put his logo right into the work, and I think it looks fantastic. So that's it. That's a look at the Capture Copter pontoon set, or the pontoon set you could get for any of your helicopters. So collection is growing, and it's really nice to have these options. Just wanted to end off actually with a little bit more information. So wanted to show you side by side the difference in the width, which I really like. Actually, the 3D printed kit is a lot more tighter to the helicopter versus the original. It's a very big and floppy setup, and you can see how much wider that was compared to the 3D set. So width, it's a lot more compact. Length though, as you can see, the pontoons are pretty near identical in how long they are. And I also thought I'd show you what it looks like with the pilot. So that's it. Just a look at that, just so you can get an idea. And again, thanks for watching.